Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us for our annual State of the County Address, hosted by the Arvada Chamber of Commerce. My name is Christine Jensen, and I have the privilege of serving as the chair of the Government Affairs Committee for the Chamber. So the commissioners are going to kick us off this morning with a 30-minute overview on what is happening in Jefferson County, and then we will hear from Adams County. So I'd like to first invite up Commissioner Szabo.
Well, good morning, and they wanted me to stand up here at this podium. Can you see me more than my head? All right, well, good morning, and thank you for having us here. There's a lot of things going on in Jefferson County, a lot of great things, but we also have a few challenges, just like the rest of, the municipalities and the other counties. So first of all, I would like to introduce my fellow commissioners and give you a little overview about our districts and how they work in Jefferson County. So I am representing District 1, which is the north part of the county where we sit right now. I-70 north to the Adams County border and a little bit of Coal Creek Canyon. Commissioner Ty represents District number 2, which is the smallest in geographic area, but the most dense, more pieces of Golden, Wheat Ridge, Lakewood, and those communities in there. And then as you can see, Commissioner Rozier represents District 3, which is the largest geographic because he has a good part of the mountains. As you can see, there's a little density down in Littleton, but the lion's share of his district are the mountains, and we know that the people that live in the mountains like to be a little more spread out. So that's an overview of what Jefferson County looks like and who represents those areas. We're also today going to share our top 10 things that we love about Jefferson County, and not each of us has 10. We do have 10, but they cut us down to 3, and Rozier gets 4. So the first one is, everybody talks about the Flatirons, but Jefferson County has the best backdrop in the state. And I just want to kind of highlight today our open space and the space that we have that's open to views and also open to people who love to bike and hike and take walks and those type of things. It's okay to, when you're short on time, to do it right there in your community in the city. But when you can go to one of these beautiful open space parks and enjoy the grandeur of that, it always makes it a special time. We preserve open space and parkland. We protect parks and natural resources and provide healthy, nature-based experiences. We have more than 5,400 acres preserved since 1972. We acquired, 54,000, sorry. Thanks, Commissioner Rozier. We've acquired over 2,000 acres in 2016, and the current master plan guides agencies to more through 2019. Volunteers donate up to 33,000 hours of their time to Jeffco Open Space since probably before 1992. We have some maps that we've created through the Jeffco Outdoor Foundation. And we're gonna take a moment and play a little game because you're gonna have an opportunity to win some of these maps. And the maps are a little bit special because they are made of spandex. No, actually. But you could wear your spandex when you go ride through one of our parks. But be careful. They're made from something called polyart, and it's a petroleum-based paper that is waterproof and tear-resistant. So you can use these maps over and over, wipe them down, and you don't have to always get a new map. We're also being sustainable in Jefferson County. So my two, Vanna and White, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, And whoever raises their hand first, I'm going to call on. And if you have the right answer, you win the series of maps. All right, so the first... $18 value. Ooh, big times.
And Ralph Shell will autograph these.
Yes, if you want. All right, so the first question. Who knows what the population of Jefferson County is? A bit high. Lorraine? Ooh, a bit low. A bit low, but close.
525,000.
A bit low. All right, okay, two more, and then we're gonna.
535,000.
Nope. Okay, so who was the closest? 558,532. Good job. All right, our next question is, how many square miles are there in Jeffco? Come on, just take a guess. All right, nobody wants to win that gift? All right, good. We have 550 square miles, a little low. Does anybody else want to guess a little higher?
650.
A little low.
735.
Oh, very close. We'll give it to Evie, 774 square miles. Good job. What percentage of county land is above 6,400 feet of elevation? Yeah.
What percentage?
What percentage? David?
48.2.
Low. Low. High. Let's go with that. 70% is above, and that's usually the elevation they use when they say we're going to get snow, right? Above 6,400 feet. So 74%. So our road and bridge crew, when it snows, gets a workout. All right, last one. How many employees work at Jefferson County? What? What did they say? They aren't going to be eligible if they're, I don't know. I don't think they got it. All right. Do we have a real guess? These are cool maps. How many? 2,000. Higher.
3,000.
There you go. Mayor, you can have that if you take back what you said first. All right. So I'm living proof that we can have our American dream in Jefferson County. And we make that possible by being family friendly. And no one exemplifies that better than our own Mayor, Mark Williams, who works so well together with us and the other cities in Jefferson County. So thank you, Mayor Williams. That's right. We're all one big happy family. But we also have some challenges. And one of our biggest challenges is our aging community. Jefferson County is getting older. I moved here when I was 10 years old, and I plan on staying here until I am no more. And that's how a lot of people feel about Jefferson County. And that creates challenges. We hold 20% of the homestead exemptions in the state. That's a huge amount. And that trend is only expected to get higher. So we are working with groups like Aging Well to try to find ways where we can have the citizens of Jefferson County aging happily in place, whether they need an assisted living or they can provide on their own and they just need a smaller footprint to live in. We have to keep, when we do our land use cases in mind, this elderly population and what's coming. We have to make sure we have adequate housing, adequate medical assistance, and they also love communities where they can walk to the store if they need to, or they can walk to a park. So those are all things that we in Jefferson County have to keep in mind that are a big challenge. We also, I want to highlight our public engagement. They have it up there, PEO, Public Engagement Office. We decided to change that to Office of Public Engagement, and it created our own acronym called OPE. We have hired a new director for that. Her name is Kate McIntyre, and she is doing a great job of drawing all the offices of public engagement, or PIO office, as most of you know it as, together. Because when people think, even though we live in the city of Arvada, or the city of Lakewood, or the city of Golden, we think of Jefferson County as our community. And it helps us all to work together, to have modernized technology, to be innovative, to improve our outreach to the citizens, that they know what exactly is going on in Jefferson County. Because most of it is good stuff that will benefit them. But they seem to only hear about us in times of tragedy. And that's not a good way to handle things. So we've decided to vamp that up and to reach out to more people in the county. So thank you for your time. I want to bring Commissioner, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Bring Commissioner Ty up to do his challenge and his top 10.
I want to have the remote. I never get the remote at my house, so it's a chance to have the remote.
I'm tired of the remote.
I hope my voice isn't too scratchy today. A little bit of hay fever. That beautiful weather, though, it's worth it. I think full immersion therapy. I would think, go on a hike. You think, Mark? That's the way to take care of it. Get out there and get on the trails, or maybe I saw Indian tree.
Come with me. I got a bunch of new maps.
There you go.
Oh, perfect.
Like that. So if I'm not in this afternoon, I'm taking care of my hay fever. So we were talking about the top 10 things we love about Jeffco. And the next thing that we love about Jeffco, we talk about Jeffco has a rich history. Speaking of history, are top 10 lists still a thing? Are we still doing those? They said, Mark McGough goes to bed at 9. He didn't know David Letterman retired, so we can still do top 10 lists. But history, there's a great history in Jeffco, and of course by history I mean beer. And so go out this weekend and drink up some of Jeffco's history. But we do have a wonderful history. It's been a great history. We have leaders who have brought Jefferson County where it is, and we have a historical commission with Jeffco that is helping document that. And if you ever go to the Taj, there's a wall there by the elevators that talks about some of the great people who have done things for Jefferson County. Also, another thing I like about Jeffco is it's a safe community. We work hard to make sure Jefferson County is safe. CHIZO, of course, is one of the major reasons why Jeffco is safe. CHIZO works with kids, telling kids what they need to do to make sure they're safe and make good decisions when they're on the internet or when they're riding their bikes or whatever. I think CHIZO's the one on the right. Correct. Yeah. That's actually, he's with his sidekick, Cheesy. I told that same joke. That's, of course, our DA Pete Ware does a great job. And I told that same joke last year. I said, can I tell the same joke 2 years in a row? And they said, well, Mayor Williams tells his water conservation shower joke 2 years in a row. So I ought to be able to make fun of Pete Weir 2 years in a row. But Pete does a great job, and keeping Jeffco safe is a priority for the county, and CHIZO's just one element of that. We also have great county employees. Here's one of our employees. K-9 Paul there is one of our great employees. You can always know when K-9 Paul's happy because he wags his tail. But he does a great job making sure that the building is safe. He sniffs for explosives and those kinds of things, and again, safety's a big deal. There's a couple of our employees there in Road and Bridge, Superman and Wonder Woman. They are our average employees. And of course, there's a big group there. We're getting ready for the for the Super Bowl. One thing I really like, you have to go to work every day. And you're working with people, you see them all the time. And there's a great energy in the building at Jefferson County. We've got employees that care about the work they do, and they've got tough jobs. We've got people who are working in human services, they're making very difficult decisions. They're dealing with people who are going through a difficult time in their life, it's very stressful. And they keep a good attitude, and they really want to make a difference in their community. So that's one of the things we really love about Jefferson County is our great employees. Now we're going to talk about challenges, and we're going to talk about opportunities. And of course, budget is one of the big challenges we have. And I want to highlight one of our employees, Carl Tippin. He was our budget analyst. And Carl is one of the go-to guys when we want to do budget.
Hey, Commissioner Ty, did Carl retire last week?
Carl retired?
Yeah.
Oh no, we're in big trouble. He was the one that could do math.
I know.
Get our calculator.
I'm just kidding. We've got a great budget office. We want to talk about Carl though because when we talk about employees, we want Jefferson County to be a employer of choice, and we like the idea we have employees spend their time with the county, their careers to the county, then they have opportunity to retire. And then we have a great human services office, and it's next woman or next man up, and we've got somebody who'll take Carl's place. So we're going to go through some budget challenges and talk about some things going on with the budget, but we have a great budget office that helps us with that. And when you look at budget challenges, here's how the question is, where does our money come from? And of course, the biggest area is property taxes. Most of the funds the county gets to operate, just slightly over 50% of it comes from property taxes. We had an increase in property values in the last year, and so the assessments were up. So our revenues were up. We actually lowered we had a voluntary mill levy reduction to lower it because the values are up. It's always a challenge to make sure we set the property tax at the right amount. We also have revenues coming from sales taxes and some other revenues. We get changes from the federal government, money from the federal government, that kind of thing. Where does the money go? There's different ways you can look at where the money goes. The biggest probably expenses are our human service, our payroll. Our great employees do that. But we broke it down here by organization. And you can see there we talked about safety, but the sheriff's office has the biggest piece of what it costs. We have that includes both the sheriff's officers and the jail. And we have a large jail population. On average, we have over 1,000 people in our jail at any given time. And so it's a big responsibility that the sheriff's office takes very seriously, but it's an expensive endeavor too. And so we're always looking for ways to be more efficient in how we handle criminal justice matters. We've got several specialty courts where we try to find ways to keep people out of the prison system and the Department of Corrections and keep the community safe, but look for alternatives and have better outcomes. But the sheriff's office is one of the bigger ones. We also have human services. We're seeing a growing need in human services. As Jefferson County grows, some of the challenges we have grow as well. We have more people who are facing some challenges in their lives, both economically, maybe with housing, with taking care of their families. And so we've got great community partners we work with. We have food banks. The Arvada Food Bank's one of the great ones. We have the Action Center. We have the Jefferson Center for Mental Health. We try to partner with those nonprofits to make a difference in Jefferson County, but our human services coordinates with all those different nonprofits, and that's one of our bigger expenses as well. We have declining funds sometimes in that we've seen that the federal government share of what they're contributing to our expenses has gone down over the last couple of years. And so the challenge is we need to take care of a lot of these funding challenges ourselves. A lot of the issues that we're dealing with in Jefferson County, we're going to have to look at, Adams County is probably facing the same thing. We're going to have to look at solving some of these issues within our own community. And we have to find innovative ways to deliver services. And how we're going to do that, Commissioner Rocher, I think, is going to talk about some challenges with infrastructure and challenges with capital investments. And those are the kinds of things we're going to, I think, have to look internally within the county of how we're going to respond to this, because the state funding and the federal funding just isn't there like it was years ago. But there's also opportunities with this. Whenever you have these challenges, you also have opportunities. And technology is one way we can try to solve some of these problems. When we're looking at delivering services to seniors, transportation is one of their biggest issues. And there's changing technologies. You know, with the Uber and Lyft, that's changing. There you go, Commissioner Zabo. With Uber and Lyft, you're seeing just a change in how services are delivered. Can we do something using that kind of technology to identify ways to service seniors or people with disabilities? If we can maybe create some networks of drivers who are trained and understand the special needs that seniors may have, maybe we can use that technology to deliver services cheaper and make it more convenient for those people who need the services. You know, we're still trying to find ways to deliver services more innovatively in Jefferson County. We're trying to improve how we deliver services, human services, so people can get on the internet and find out what they're eligible for and find out how they can sign up for services remotely. We are also, we talked about the Office of Public Engagement. We're trying to find ways that we can use technology to interact with our citizens and make it more efficient. And those are the things we're going to have to do because the challenges are growing, and we're going to have to leverage technology in a lot of ways to deliver those services. So now I'm going to ask Commissioner Rozier to come up and talk about some issues with infrastructure and things and what his favorite parts of Jefferson County are.
Thank you, Commissioner Ty, and good morning. You know, continuing with our top 10 list, I would like to begin with perseverance. And we're not, you know, Faye Griffin has really, Jefferson County as a whole, it really shows perseverance. When we have an obstacle to overcome, we persevere and we push through. I used this, I thought she was going to be here. I was going to give her a hard time that, perseverance. Faye is clerk and recorder, but I think her perseverance is she wants to hold every elected office in Jefferson County before she retires. So she's persevering on that, and I think her next job is being coroner. But I just really want to just point out that we as a community, Jefferson County and the region, we persevere, whether it be fire, floods, economic issues that we go through. Our perseverance is just great, and that's one thing, just one of the items that makes Jefferson County just so great. The next is community spirit. And when we talk about getting rid of yard waste and being proactive in fire mitigation, it really exemplifies Jeffco's community spirit. The Slash program is something that I've been working on for years, and we've modified it. Many of you are aware of what we did in order to help mitigate some of our fire risk, especially in the mountain communities, and to provide a service when we have those heavy snowstorms like we had this year, to provide the service to all of Jefferson County, not just unincorporated Jefferson County, but all of Jefferson County, to bring your limbs, to bring those items that you want to have chipped up and removed. We're providing that service. This year, the Slash collection program begins tomorrow. So you all have a lot of work to do in your yards, right? But we have 25 sites identified this year, and they will run every weekend through November 6th, with the exception of July 2nd and 3rd. So just be careful. Don't have too much fun, Councilman Jones, with fireworks. If you want more information on our Slash program, please visit jeffco.us//. Not two forward slashes, but / and then the word slash. And I checked into it a little bit more. Leanne asked me if I just upgraded you, Mark. If Mayor Williams could get rid of his red sequence jacket, and they said no. So you're going to have to find a different way of disposing of that jacket this year.
The Smithsonian wants it.
Actually, our Road and Bridge Department really likes that because it's brighter than most of our reflective vests, and it works really well. So. With that, and then integrity. Each and every day I see that high integrity that Jefferson County brings with the business community, with the residents, with the elected officials. And I tell you what, if our integrity kind of varies at any point, I'm looking right at the other elected officials, I'm sure our constituents will tell us each and every day. And that's one item I just want to bring up here is one of the keys, is just the integrity that I see within the community. Aging infrastructure. We have road problems, we have potholes, we have failing bridges, we have culverts that need to be repaired. We have infrastructure, we have buildings that have seen deferred maintenance, deferred even longer. And with that, we're no different than any other county in the state, any other city in the state. We all have to work towards how do we find those dollars to address this failing infrastructure. And when our infrastructure fails, it affects us on so many different levels, from being able to get to the grocery store, from the vehicles, the trucks being able to deliver products to the grocery store, for getting our kids to school, for getting those older adults to the hospital, doctor's appointments, or just to visit friends. So when we look at our infrastructure, we're having to be creative. We're out there seeking grants and applications just like the rest of you to try to offset the cost. However, those grant opportunities are few and far between, and we have to get very creative on how we look at improvements. How do we look at multimodal transportation? How do we look at transportation in general? And then we also have to be aware of how transportation is changing in the Denver metro area. And Jeffco has taken a very proactive approach to this multimodal transportation activity with the formation of West Connect. I would like to do a shout out to all the stakeholders involved. We have the city of Arvada, we have city of Boulder, Boulder County, Superior, Broomfield, city and county of Broomfield. Bodner's going boo. We have Golden and Lakewood, Jefferson County, Morrison, working on transportation needs throughout the 470 corridor, including US 6, Highway 93, and 470, to see what can we do to help with this entire corridor in moving people and commerce. My opportunity that I see is huge for Jefferson County, and that is economic development. I'm proud to say that the Verve Innovation Park, which is southwest of the Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport, I said it right, I usually say Jeffco Airport, the RMMA, is up, it's going, and it actually has its first user, and that is a 216,000 square foot facility run by FedEx. It's a FedEx ground facility, and really that has kick-started the development there at Verve. Verve is 620 acres and is identified as being a real hub, a real incubator for business and business development. We are constantly welcoming new businesses or expansion of current businesses, such as Prescient, as you can see right in the middle there. Nice sign, by the way, Arvada. That was a great idea. Coors Tech, and another business that's coming into, or I shouldn't say coming into, expanding at the Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport is Pilatus. Many of you know Pilatus, many of you may not. Pilatus produces turboprop airplanes. They are a Swiss-based company. They have been at the airport for quite a few years, and they're expanding with a 150,000 square foot facility on the west side of the airport, with plans to expand even more. So it's great news for all of us, for the entire region. You can see Southwest Plaza has expanded in Alio, excuse me. Some stats real quick from Jeffco EDC. Unemployment for Jefferson County is 3.1%. Some of our top employers, Lockheed Martin, St. Anthony Hospital, Lutheran Medical Center, Terumo BCT, Miller Coors, and INREL. Per capita personal income is right at $51,000, just above $51,000. National average is $46,000. And housing units, we have 231,000 housing units, and we could probably use about the equivalent number more based upon prices. And I would like, on the last slide, I would just like the other commissioners, if you want, this is kind of a shared slide. We're very proud, very, very, very proud to introduce the new and improved, revised Jeffco Fair and Festival. Real quick.
Your glasses.
I don't know if I can see through these, but they're pretty cool. Is the date over here? So the fair starts Wednesday, August 10th, and goes through Sunday, August 14th. The Jeffco Fair and Festival is a celebration of Jefferson County's past, present, and future. This event adds a dash of fun, interactive, engaging, and traditional experiences with a focus on locality to ensure that there is something for everyone. What I love about this, every day is going to be different. Every day has something different for each individual out there. We're going to combine this year the safety fair with the Jeffco Fair and Festival. It's going to be a great, great opportunity for everyone. And I think Dexter has done a great job. And I think some of you have glasses. Please feel free to put them on, wear them, advertise, others. And also, get involved. Stay connected, please. Serve on a board board or commission. There's great opportunities there. Attend our mini public meetings. Community outreach public meetings are Tuesday morning at 8. Would love to see everyone there. All your smiling faces. I know the mayor stops in from time to time when he's not in court. Visit our website and find us on social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Nextdoor. And with that, I think our next slide is questions and answers, but we're going to defer to Commissioner Odoricio.
Leave that feet up there so no one sees it.
So, Commissioner Zabel said leave this up so nobody sees Commissioner Odoricio.
Need a bigger box. So I thought that the goal of the glasses wasn't so you couldn't see the audience. I thought we needed a bag over your face so they couldn't see you. I'm just joking. We have a good time. We always we get to see each other at conferences. We get to hang out a little bit, and I gotta say I really like your Democratic county commissioners very much. No, you guys you have three great people working for you, and I have to tell you, I grew up in Arvada. I went to Pomona High School, and a lot of my family still lives in Arvada. In fact, my mom is one of them. So I'm very happy to hear about, I'm going to just say what Jefferson County's doing, and I get to see it whenever I go visit her. So I think that I'm happy to see what they're doing, and especially with what they're doing for seniors, because it really hits home. So I'll try to be fast. I sometimes talk fast, but I also saw a lot of you falling asleep during the last presentation. So what I'll do is we provided your some of the demographics in the handout. So if you have questions afterwards, I can answer some questions. But here's our community report. Feel free to look at it. The whole goal of what we're going to do is talk a little bit about how we're putting Adams County dollars to work right now in Adams County. And I want to first start off by thanking Gabe Rodriguez and Ray Gonzalez, who are in the back, who really helped put this together. But we really do work with an amazing set of folks over in Adams County. We've got a very young, innovative, energetic group of folks who have brought integrity and professionalism to Adams County, and I'm very proud to work with these folks. And that is not in the script. That's from my heart. So thank you, guys.
You have a heart?
I do. So we're going to start off here So one of the things that we're doing to put our dollars to work, right now, Adams County has dedicated $500,000 from the 1A campaign. Do you guys remember the DIA deal? This group was very supportive. I want to thank you for that, because immediately out of that deal, we took $500,000, put it in, it was matched by the Colorado Enterprise Fund. And in partnership with Adams County Economic Development and the Small Business Development Center, that is now a $1 million revolving microloan for all Adams County businesses. So small businesses in Adams County, including the portions of Arvada that sit in Adams County, now have an immediate benefit from that 1A campaign. I want to thank the Chamber. I want to thank all the business folks in here who supported us in that campaign, because now you're helping push for economic development and support small businesses. The second program I wanted to mention was we've just adopted the Colorado PACE program, which allows businesses in our county to invest or to take a loan out for capital improvements to promote energy efficiency. So go check out copace.com to learn more about the program. But we're very excited. These are just a couple of the ways in which we're giving small businesses big tools for success. Next, helping our low-income students. We're trying to find innovative solutions because we all have these challenges. This year, we took $500,000 from the proceeds for the marijuana businesses. And now what Adams County's done is said we're only going to allow 10 businesses in Adams County, unincorporated. 3 cultivation, 3 processing, 3 cultivation, 3 processing, 3 retail, and then 1 testing facility. That is working well for us because we're taking a very slow approach. As a former prosecutor, I'm going to say, I'm not a big fan of marijuana, but by taking a small approach, we're able to have the businesses that want to do business as businesses do well in the county, and we're not spending all those proceeds like some other jurisdictions are, trying to chase the consequences of having just opened the floodgates. We now have the ability to work with those businesses and take some of the immediate gains from those proceeds. And in this example, we took $500,000 from those proceeds. It was matched at the state, and we now have doled out through the local school district foundations $1 million of scholarships, 4-year scholarships. These are for between $2,500 and $7,600 per year for 4 years to over 50 low-income students. So this is what we need to do with that money. Thank you. This is what we need to do with that money. We need to be focusing on actually helping kids. Next is, what are we doing to help with people in need? So Adams County, big opportunities for citizens in poverty. Affordable housing, poverty, these are some of the challenges that every jurisdiction has right now. And they're particularly challenging for us because we border Denver and there's a lot of homelessness. You can see that there's, what we're trying to do is take innovative approaches. How can we connect folks that need services to the services? How can we, instead of just playing this hot potato with people's lives, go across this jurisdiction, we'll ship them this way? That's not what we're doing. What we're trying to do is make sure that we can empower people to become self-sufficient, to get the help that they need. And one of the things that we've done is we've allocated $425,000 that will go through our Adams County Community Enrichment Grant, where those grants will be used to help pay through our Adams County Foundation to help families in need. So once again, giving those in need a big tool for success. Now, foster families. I'm pretty Chaz Tedesco was a foster kid. He's one of our county commissioners. He's really passionate about this, and I have to give him a lot of credit because he looked back, saw the challenges that he had in life, and he was able to look forward and say, okay, how can we make life better for those who, are kids, and the kids that are going through these difficult challenges of foster families. Well, what we've done is we have now established through Adams County Service Department, I'm going to make sure I get this right, the Adams County Foster Parents and Kinship Care Strategy Plan, which includes providing a flexible pool of funds for those to support the kinship families. So what you have sometimes is the foster families, where a child has to go to a foster family through like a stranger, they don't know the family. They sometimes get more services through the traditional funding through the government. Well, we all know that you can save money, but also have more familiarity with the child and the family if you can find kinship families. We're saying, let's invest into trying to promote that. In addition to the economic, of course, it's working, but there's an ethical reason. We want these folks, we want the families, we want to encourage these kids to be able to grow up and stay in places where they are close to people that they know, that they love, and that love them. So what we've done is we've established more support for these kinship families. In addition to that, we've also utilized existing county-owned property that has a couple residential buildings on it to create the Homes for Hope, which will allow foster families to be able to take on some kids on those short-term durations. Some of the challenges that we've had is when a kid has to go outside of the jurisdiction to stay somewhere, and then you have to get that child all the way back up. This will hopefully keep the child in the community where they're found or where they are. Hopefully, it could try to keep that child in the same school so they're not having to move around so much in a single semester. And then it also allows us to save significant resources without having to deal with the transportation across multiple jurisdictions. We're very proud of some of these services in it. So we have invested over $2 million over a 10-year period for foster parents and kinship care providers. Big opportunities for cultural affairs. We've established the Adams County Cultural Affairs Office administered by our Cultural Affairs Liaison. Gabe, can you wave to everyone? We're very proud of Gabe and what he's been able to do. We've taken the $1.1 million from SCFD funds and invested in cultural facilities and other organizations. In addition to that, Adams County's invested $520,000 in public art projects. That's the 1% of, based on our policy, it allocates a half of 1% of the total construction costs for any new county buildings. So let's support the culture there. That's, once again, for a total of $1.7 million in community arts and cultural development. Neighborhoods, here we go. We're investing $3.4 million in safe routes to schools, ADA compliance, and connectivity to trail systems. A great portion of Adams County unincorporated areas don't have curb, gutter, sidewalk, and some of those that do have it are not ADA compliant. Connectivity, mobility, these are the things that we all need to be working for in all of our communities. Every city, every county is going through the same thing. What we've been able to do is take advantage of some grants and focus on some of our ADA compliance issues, and we're moving down that list and taking those projects off the list. Big opportunities for a seamless trail system. Don't forget, Adams County is the hub of the trail system. You've got Platte, you got the Platte Trail, you got Clear Creek, you got Little Dry Creek, you've got all these creeks. Everything and the trail systems come together in Adams County. From Adams County, you can get to Brighton, Golden, Arvada, you can get downtown, everywhere from that confluence at Clear Creek and Platte River. So what are we doing there? Specifically, what we've got is we've established a Parks and Open Space Strategic Plan. This is administered by, of course, our Parks and Open Space Department. We've invested $2.3 million in trails and open space, including along the Platte River, Clear Creek, and the Clear Creek Corridor Plan is what we're working on now. That's $2.3 million invested to give parks and trails a big boost for success. Big opportunities for agritourism and ag business. We established the district plan. This is the breadbasket of the whole metro area. Adams County has, in very close proximity to the metro area, we have ag businesses, we have ag space, we've got farming. So what we're doing is we've established through the Long Range Strategic Planning Office, established the district plan, which promotes ag businesses, ag tourism, ag innovation in our backyard. Everyone these days is concerned about food health, food safety. They're concerned about what are we putting into our foods. This is local food industry, and it's a big deal everywhere you go. So we're very proud to be giving ag industry and local farmers big tools for success. All right, Opportunities for multimodal connections. So through our multimodal connections, we've established the Making Connections plan in the southwest portions of Adams County. Of course, that does include the areas around the Arvada portions of Adams County. It's administered, once again, by our long-range strategic planning office. One of the things that I think is important here is that this plan, although it's a $150,000 investment that we're making into this area, it includes establishing a long list of capital improvement projects that we can seek other types of funding and partnerships. That's in the private industry, that's with other government agencies. Look at what we were able to do at the park with Wanco, with Arvada. Those are the types of out-of-the-box, innovative thinking that we're going to continue to do, and Arvada is going to be a key partner in that moving forward. So once again, giving transit-oriented development, big tools for success, and the folks that live in those areas and work in those areas. Now, regional transportation, big opportunities here. We've worked with all of our jurisdictions in and outside of the county to focus on some of these regional connectivities. Once again, one of the benefits of being in Adams County is you're connected to everybody. One of the challenges sometimes is that everyone goes through your community to get to where they need to go. We like to connect the dots, is the way we look at it. So that means we're working on the I-25 widening project from Highway 36 up to 120th. We've got the State Highway 44, which is 104th Avenue widening project. We've got the Highway 85 and 120th Avenue interchange. Improvements to I-270. Anyone who goes along I-270, that's a major challenge. We've got Highway 7 and I-76 interchange. And then we've got, of course, Highway 7 widening all the way from 164th to Holly Street. And then I'm particularly happy to be able to work with Westminster and Jefferson County on the Highway 95, which we know is Sheridan, the improvements from 87th Avenue to 91st Street. We've been a big supporter of that. So our investment of $6.7 million in these transportation projects through innovation, through partnerships, has leveraged over $74 million of investment in projects in our community. And that's what innovation and leveraging partnerships does for us. So out of the $20 million that I talked about that we've invested in this community, above and beyond the services that counties have to provide, we know that these will be big tools for success, for quality of life, for mobility, education, prosperity, and to create a safe, reliable infrastructure and connectivity and community enrichment. I'm going to finish this up by we've put together a video, just like we did last year. And at the end of the video, you guys could feel free to come up. I'll be signing these if you want. I'm more than happy. And Don has already started drawing pictures of like mustaches and other things on our faces, so he can even sign it too. I want to thank everyone in Arvada. I want to thank this group for allowing us the opportunity to do this. I'm not going to come up and speak after the video, but thank you very much. The relationship that we have with the people in this room are what allow us to move forward, to make the progress that we're making. I'm very proud to work with the folks on this stage, all three of them, but I'm also proud to work with the folks in this audience. So thank you very much, and we'll go ahead and start the video. Thank you.
The signs are everywhere. This is one of the fastest growing counties in the fastest growing state in America. Hi, I'm Adams County Manager Todd Leopold. There is no doubt Colorado's an amazing place to live. And right here in Adams County, we're dedicated to serving the residents, business owners, and agency partners with both integrity and innovation. So what does that look like? Well, let me show you what I mean. You'll find features like these new kiosks in our motor vehicle locations that will keep our lines shorter, allowing you to conduct your business and get on with your day. Working with developers, contractors, and residents, our community and economic development staff has shaved off 5 weeks from our conceptual review process, and we've cut the average review time for a building permit by over 71%, down to 10 days. That means shovel-ready projects begin faster, allowing for job creation and new business opportunities. And speaking of jobs, the county ranks in the top 5 among large counties nationwide in job growth. The key to this progress is a diversity of employers who are willing to call Adams County home. From high-tech to healthcare, construction and manufacturing, businesses are finding a great pool of qualified candidates, while our residents are enjoying more employment opportunities. We're also confident that the number of jobs at DIA is just about to take off. That's because you, the voters, approved an amended agreement between the county, our municipalities, and Denver to expand the economic development opportunities around Denver International Airport. This historic agreement was a product of negotiations and a unanimous vote from all parties involved. Uniquely positioned, this area will attract corporate interest from around the world while delivering thousands of new jobs to our local workforce. The county is also proud of our dedicated professionals who work in our Human Services Department. These employees are truly doing the heavy lifting in our society. Recently, we introduced operational efficiencies that reduce wait times for our families and individuals in need. We expect to provide even better service when our new Human Services Center opens in 2017. Construction is underway right now on the building that will consolidate our operations. Now, people who are already facing challenges won't have to visit 2 or 3 buildings, and the location near 120th and Pecos provides greater access to public transportation. As you can see, this new building will open as we are serving nearly 2,000 families each year. And we know, with a rapidly growing county, that number will continue to rise. The county is also committed to sustainability and protecting the environment. Our fleet operation now includes both electric and hybrid vehicles, and we have a charging station that's available at the Government Center. The county is also drawing nearly 10% of its energy we use in our buildings from this solar garden near Watkins. But the innovative approach to sustainability also includes events like our Styrofoam Amnesty Day and partnering with local business on paint recycling. That repurposed paint comes from an Adams County business and is available to the public. The county is now using that repurposed paint in our graffiti program. In the past, the county outsourced graffiti removal to a private vendor. But in 2015, the Board of County Commissioners approved the addition of a new position, a graffiti technician. In the first year of operation, we completed more than 800 graffiti abatements. That's nearly 600 more than when we outsourced the program. And we're doing it with paint that would have ended up in our own landfills.
Adams County beige is what I like to call it.
Parks and open space are an essential component of every community. The newly renovated Rotella Park in Welby is completely upgraded and now includes new playground equipment, covered pavilions, and a redesigned parking lot. We're also extremely excited about the South Platte River Trail. This bridge will help connect the final leg of this popular path between 104th and 120th Avenues. It's scheduled to open in 2016. When we think about innovation, gravel roads usually don't come to mind, but they should, at least in some parts of Adams County. Our transportation department is now using a process that includes manufactured materials, and our residents seem to love it.
The dust situation was terrible. We couldn't even sit in our backyard without the cloud of dust that came over and it was just hanging. But now, with what the county's done, it's 1,000% better.
There's also a lot less maintenance required with this new material, which means we can spend more time on other projects throughout the county. So whether it's roads, parks, neighborhoods, business opportunities, or providing services to our residents, we're using innovative practices as we continue to serve you with integrity and transparency. If there's ever anything that you see that you feel we should know about, please get in touch with us. We want to work with you and for you in this period of growth and progress in the county.
Well, I would like to thank all of our county commissioners for joining us this morning. Certainly this morning we've heard some of the exciting projects that are going on. We've talked about some of the challenges that we all face. We've heard a little bit of rivalry, but all around we've heard a lot of great camaraderie. And we also have an important community update from Lorraine Anderson from the RTD Board of Directors.
Good morning, everyone. Well, the train is coming, and with that train in June, you're going to get train horns. And for any of you who have been on the city council and gone through the train horn wars, you'll know that it will not be pretty when people start complaining about train horns every 7.5 minutes. And the worst part is probably through Old Town. There are 9 crossings through Old Town between Lamar Street and Independence. 9 crossings. RTD took out one, which was on Reed Street. But you will get 2 longs, a short, and a long horn at every one of those crossings every 7.5 minutes. It is required by the Federal Railway Association, and it will happen until they decide it is safe. So for those of you that are on council that will get the phone calls, this is a federal regulation. It is safety first. Now, it will happen, and Arvada, Adams County, and Wheat Ridge are working along the Gold Line to make it a quiet zone. So it will happen, but even after it becomes a quiet zone, a train operator can blow that whistle if he thinks it's necessary, particularly if there are workers on the track. So that being said, I do want to say Fast Tracks is almost finished. You have the US 36 corridor, you have the Gold Line, you will have, well, the West Corridor is finished, and you will have the connection between 9 Mile and Peoria Street through Aurora finishing next year. You'll have the North Metro, which goes through Adams County, the first leg of it finishing in 2018, and also the Southeast Extension. So what is left is basically the train to Longmont, which was shared track commuter rail from Westminster to Longmont, and it is still scheduled, but not until 2042. It has everything to do with the Burlington Northern Railroad, who wants over $1 billion to construct that line. So it is something RTD is working on. But in the meantime, transportation is always changing. There will be service to those folks. It is service now. So I want you to know we are working on it, and I have to appreciate all of the cooperation we've gotten from Adams County, Jefferson County, and the city of Arvada. Without all of your partnerships, we would not get anything done. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Anderson. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. Have a productive month.